The rain fell quietly on the streets of Blackridge, a small coastal town in Massachusetts that seemed untouched by time. Wooden houses leaned into the wind, and every window hid a story no one dared to tell. Late one autumn evening, a young lawyer named Daniel Cross drove into town. He had come from Boston to defend a man accused of murder, a carpenter named Ellis Moore. Everyone in Blackridge believed Ellis had killed his wife, buried her beneath the floorboards of room 13 in the old Havenwood Hotel, and sealed the place forever. The police never found a body, but the town swore they could still hear her cries whenever the tide was high. Arrival. When Daniel arrived at the hotel, the sign creaked in the wind. Havenwood Hotel, established 1894. Inside, the lobby smelled of dust and salt. Behind the counter sat an old clerk, eyes hollow, voice dry. "You'll be staying in room 13?" he asked. "Yes," Daniel replied, setting down his briefcase. "No one stays there anymore," the clerk muttered. "The walls remember too much." Daniel smiled politely. "I don't believe in haunted walls." The clerk handed him the rusted key. "Then the walls will like you." The first night room 13 was dim, narrow, and cold. The wallpaper peeled like old skin, and the single window faced the gray ocean. Daniel set his case files on the desk and began reading through the evidence. At midnight, the hotel grew silent. Then came the sound. Slow, dragging footsteps above him. A knock at the door. 3 times. When he opened it, the hallway was empty. But on the floor lay a single sheet of paper, yellowed, torn, and faintly wet with something dark. It was part of a last will and testament, signed in blood. Ellis Moore's wife, deceased. Daniel's pulse quickened. He looked again. At the bottom, another signature had appeared, his own. Courtroom, day 1. The next morning, Daniel entered the Blackridge courthouse. The townspeople stared at him like he was already cursed. "Your Honor," he said, calm and steady, "the prosecution has no body, no weapon, and no proof. This case is built on fear, not fact." From the back of the courtroom, someone whispered, "Fear's all we've got left." Daniel ignored it. He was determined to win, and to prove that reason could silence superstition. The second night. That night, the wind howled across the coast. Daniel sat at his desk, reviewing the notes again. He glanced at the mirror. His reflection blinked a moment later than he did. Then, slowly, the reflection smiled. "Why are you defending him?" it whispered. Daniel turned sharply. The room was empty, but the reflection stayed. Heart pounding, he stepped closer, and the floor groaned beneath him. He knelt, running his hand along the boards, and felt a hollow space. He pried one plank loose. Beneath it lay a clump of hair, brittle bones, and another paper. This one newer, written in red ink. "Defend him well, or you'll take my place." A chill ran through his body. The air grew heavy, and a woman's faint sob echoed beneath the floor. Courtroom. Day 2. Daniel arrived at court looking pale. During recess, he leaned toward Ellis Moore. "Tell me the truth," he whispered. "Did you kill her?" Ellis didn't blink. "I built that room. But I didn't bury her." "The room did," Daniel frowned. "The room?" Ellis looked at him steadily. "It feeds on guilt. Whoever hides the truth becomes part of it." The final night, after the second day in court, Daniel returned to room 13. He couldn't rest. The sound beneath the floor grew louder, like someone writing slowly with a pen on wood. At 2 a.m., the lamps flickered out. Daniel lifted the floorboards again. This time, a small coffin-shaped cavity lay beneath. Inside were his own case files, his fountain pen, and a sheet of parchment. He pulled it out with shaking hands. "Daniel Cross, deceased." A whisper rose from the darkness. "Now you know the law of this room. It always needs a witness. He stumbled back, reaching for the door, but it slammed shut. The room filled with the sound of scratching pens, hundreds of them. His papers flew into the air as if caught in a storm. And then, silence. The morning after. The next morning, the hotel clerk noticed Daniel's car still outside. Room 13's door was locked from the inside. When they broke it open, the room was empty, the bed unslept, his briefcase gone. On the desk lay a single document, crisp, new parchment. Ellis Moore is innocent. Witness, Daniel Cross. The ink was still wet. The police closed the hotel again. No one stayed there after that. But on stormy nights, locals said they could see a light burning behind the boarded windows of room 13, and hear the faint sound of a pen scratching across paper, as if another lawyer had arrived to argue a case that never ends. Moral: the law may defend men, but truth defends itself. When justice is blind, the guilty are not the only ones buried.